Here we're dealt 10-9 suited on the button. A player in middle position raises to 150. He's a friend of mine. We've got another one of those hands that will split between calling and 3-betting. I've been playing somewhat passively since 4-betting with 7 deuce toward the start of the session. It's time to ramp up the aggression. I 3-bet to 500. Winning this without a fight is a positive result, but we have a decent holding to take to war in position. Even if we get 4-bet, we're supposed to pure call 10-9 suited. It's good to know that information because the middle position player doesn't back down. He 4-bets to 1800. The dealer already brought in our $500 3-bet. It's $1,300 more for us to see a flop. There are a lot of fun ones. I call hoping that we can finally make a strong hand today that holds. We've gotten some absurd runouts and a lot of key spots so far. The flop comes ace-9-8 with 2 spades. We've got middle pair and a backdoor straight draw, which is just enough of a piece to potentially get us into a lot of trouble. The middle position player makes a bit of a down bet to 1500. Middle pair and a backdoor straight draw isn't a hand that we'll be abandoning to a single bet on the smaller side. I make the mandatory call. I'd like our combo more if we at least had a backdoor flush draw to go with it, but that's alright. The turn is another ace. It's not a card that helps us improve, but it makes it less likely that the opponent is holding an ace. 2 aces on the board isn't scaring him though. He bets 2400. It's time to let our pair go. There are very few bluffs the opponent is going to have, even if he has 7 deuce in this spot. Good for him. He deserves the win and the bonus money. A lot of his light 4-bets pre-flop are supposed to come from ace-x suited hands that are now trips. It's annoying to have to let go and jump ship when the pots are getting big and we're getting a pretty decent price, but we have to. I just don't do it. I call one more time. In my head, I have a very devious plan to swing for the fences and represent a full house that we have removal for. The river is the ace of hearts putting 3 aces on board. This is a bizarre run out because now it's way less likely that the opponent has an ace, but we won't be turning our newly acquired full house into a bluff. We're actually not enthusiastic about putting any more money in because the opponent isn't concerned about 3 aces on board.
Oh,
I lose another giant pot. This one, I'm not too upset about the majority of it, but I could have saved at least 2400 by not calling the turn. My friend at least tries to make me feel better by later telling me he had ace-king offsuit for quads. I'm not 100% sure I believe him though, mostly because as he tried to recall his exact holding, he said that he had the ace of spades and the king of clubs. But when the cards are returned to the dealer here, we see what looks to be a red face card of some sort, and to me it looks like a queen. We might have just been bluffed 4 times on one hand during all 3 streets, and then once after with the explanation. I'm wondering if maybe he had king queen or queen jack and barreled away. Next we're dealt pocket 10s under the gun +1. I raised to 125. We get a couple of people interested. The cutoff calls. The small blind also calls. We're going 3 ways to the flop. The dealer puts out 6-6-3 with 2 spades. It looks innocuous enough when we've got an overpair to the board. The small blind checks. We need quite a bit of protection from overcards and the flush draw getting there. I bet 300 to get value out of someone holding spades or smaller pocket pairs. The cutoff calls. It isn't too worrisome. If he had a 6, he might raise for protection. Small blind folds. It's down to heads up. The turn is another 3, which isn't too bad of a card because there shouldn't be many 3s in the opponent's range other than pocket 3s and maybe ace-3 of hearts or diamonds. But I don't want this pot to get out of control in case the opponent happens to have us beat. I check because I'll almost never have a full house in this situation, whereas the cutoff might. The opponent is going to take advantage of our passive turn play. He makes a big bet of 1500. If he really had the nuts or something close to it, I'm not sure he'd make well over a pot-sized bet. This feels a lot like a bluff with maybe a flush draw. We're close to the top of our range, so we can't let go just yet. I call. The river could be tough for us to navigate if we face more aggression. The dealer puts out the 4 of spades. The front door flush draw gets there. I don't like that at all. I check. If the opponent has a flush, he might even check back on a double paired board, especially if he doesn't have the nut flush. The opponent doesn't check though. He overbet rips it for 6,600 effective. He has me well covered. This day is unbelievable. I've certainly made it harder on myself, but I've had almost 0 easy decisions and no spots on the river to bet for value. Poker's a mental battle with yourself, and I'm being tested today. I've certainly called all-ins with worse, including earlier in the session. This once again feels incredibly strange and like a bluff, but everything has gotten there, unless we're up against 7 deuce again, or a hand like 5-4, or some other combo with 2 clubs that missed the backdoor flush draw. I mentioned a couple of times already that You just have to fold occasionally when you don't want to, knowing it's the right play. If you're not getting successfully bluffed every once in a while, it's a clear sign that you're calling too frequently. It's just so difficult when I'm already down heaps to believe that these guys keep having it over and over. My mind is incredibly clouded at the moment. I finally decide it's just not worth it. I make the disciplined fold. The opponent shows some mercy, knowing that it's been an atrocious day. He flicks in pocket threes, he flopped a full house, and turned quads. Wow. Jesus, how do I run into it every... I'm not sure if my friend actually had quad aces or not earlier. I'm leaning towards not, but if he did, this is the second time I've run into quads today. I'm questioning a lot of my life choices that have led me to being here. People think playing poker for a living is fun, and it's true, there are plenty of fun moments, but a day like today takes its toll. At every turn, it feels like I'm getting my face smashed in with a baseball bat. When I can't win in poker, I lose a lot more than just money. I lose confidence in myself. Poker's the one thing that I'm supposed to be good at, so when I get crushed, I feel like maybe I'm a fraud, failure, or like I don't have anything that I'm good at. It's completely demoralizing. It's not a feeling that I'd wish for anyone else, which is why I never encourage people to play for a living. It's much more enjoyable to play as hopefully a profitable hobby. Having to rely on poker income to pay bills and other life expenses is incredibly taxing mentally, and the lows are very extreme. Next, we're dealt ace-9 suited on the button. The hijack raises to 150. The cutoff calls. It's a new player who just strolled in. He's not a professional. I call to see a flop in position. 3 of us are in it to win it. The flop comes king-jack-8 with 2 diamonds. We've got a flush draw with 1 over and a backdoor straight draw. This would be a good time to make a big hand and turn things around. The hijack checks. The cutoff sees an opportunity to take the pot down. He bets 400. The cutoff didn't 3-bet pre-flop, so he won't have sets of kings or jacks. The best hands that he'll have are hands like a set of 8s or king-jack. There's a solid chance that he might have a worse draw than ours that we want to keep in. I call. The action's on the hijack. Despite not betting initially, he calls to close the action. He won't have anything too strong when he doesn't bet or check raise on a draw-heavy board. Mostly he'll have draws or one pair at best. The turn is to 8 of spades. The board pairs and there's another flush draw out there. It's not a great card for us because we're no longer drawing to the nuts. The hijack checks. The cutoff is continuing with his story. He bets 900. I'm torn at this point. There's some chance that we're already drawing dead. If there were more full house combos in the cutoff's range, I'd definitely fold, but I've already ruled out kings and jacks from the cutoff. The only real full houses that he might have are hands like king 8 and jack 8 suited. There are only 4 total combos of those. I'm not even sure the cutoff would call a pre-flop raise with them. I still think there's a strong possibility that he might have top pair, or he's semi-bluffing with a worse draw than us. If we flush over flush him, we could maybe get it all. I call. The entire session, we haven't gotten a single good river card that's helped us in hands like these. It's time to drill one. The hijack folds. It's down to heads up with a big pot brewing. The river's the 6 of diamonds. We smash it. It's a beautiful sight. It took all day, but we finally have the opportunity to win a substantial pot. The opponent has exactly $6,000. He does the hard part for me, and he overbet jams. I'm not quite as happy to see it as I thought I'd be because he's saying that he's got at least a flush. There may be some bluffs he's trying to buy the pot with, like queen 10 or 10-9 of spades, or maybe some random hand that I wouldn't expect. I don't realistically see how we can river the hand that we were trying to hit and fold, especially against this particular opponent. I call. We get the bad news that our ace-high flush is no good. Quads?
Yeah.
That is the 3rd time I've run into quads today. Alright. Nice hand, nice hand.
With a 6, 8. You got a $25. I did a push for $25. My bad.
6K?
Yeah, 6K.
This is definitely one of the top 5 most difficult poker sessions that I've ever had to get through. I don't know what to do when I'm running over pairs and flushes into quads over and over. The game is maybe the best I've seen it in Bobby's room, and I keep thinking that something has to change in our favor at some point, which is why I can't get myself to leave.